Can you hear my voice in this episode? Check 1 2 1 2.
I'm gonna cut it there and play that as the intro.
Hey, Double Deuces here. Unfortunately, we couldn't be in the same room, and we live 10 minutes up the street from each other. But we having some sickness in one of our households, so better safe than sorry.
Yeah, the plague is infested the Bugo household, so better not to have it in studio today.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can hear my voice because we had some audio issues on the last one. I don't know if anyone listened to it.
Just watch it; it's better that way.
Yeah.
You can. All right, buddy. Double Deuces. We are recording. It is June 3rd, episode 15. Today on the warm-up, Nadal gets his proper tribute post-retirement. Americans make a showing at the French Open. We are nearing the end of the second week. I think, what are we at, quarters right now or finishing up? Player spotlight, I think we'll shift that basically to French Open results so far. Court to camera, average Joe's, local tennis segment, and so much more. Before we continue, hit that like button, comment, share this with your friends, subscribe. It helps out the channel. Support us on Buy Me a Coffee. I'll put a QR code somewhere on the screen. And the audio, hopefully working, will be available wherever you get your podcasts. So, first off, your Knicks did not get to the finals.
My Knicks are out. Well, I've had the HBO Max streaming. I would watch the French Open, and then it would go right into the Knicks. So I had that channel's got me in their demo. I think I watched it for like 16 hours. I mean, speaking of that, the coverage I think has been awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to leave TNT for a while right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's good. I love the Inside the NBA. I love that transition that they've kind of like traded basically NBA for tennis now, right? For 10 years. So kind of transitioning to the tennis part of that. I think TNT is doing awesome on the coverage side. I mean, so the deals they took over from ESPN, it's a 10-year deal, but man, they're killing it with the coverage on TNT and True TV. If you have Cinemax or Max, you can watch pretty much all the channels at all the matches. And then on top of that, all their stuff on the site, like that are related, like Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, Max Zone. I mean, there's just, if I don't get to watch a match because I get busy with work, I just go to like House of Highlights on YouTube, and it's great.
Oh, I didn't know the House of Highlights. I know that from the NBA, and I just know that from Instagram. Adam Lefaux. Is that how you pronounce the host?
Lefkey?
Leflow?
I don't know. I could be wrong. Lefkey? I don't know.
I'm a huge fan. The guy brings good energy. He comes at it from like someone that's like not like a tennis insider. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm kind of cheating on the tennis channel this week, and I think they're there too. But like I said, TNT, HBO, Max has just got me just streaming like, the entire day with the French Open and then previously the Knicks. But I don't know. I like the interviews. They have Sam Quarry, who is asked some great questions. Coco Vandeweghe, who I always liked her as a player, and Sloane. They've been on the desk most of the time. I know they have Patrick McEnroe on there every once in a while. I don't know. They ask interesting questions. They keep it light. And I think this seems to be a trend in broadcasting. You find the recent players that have played against these guys so they can give their insight, like Gronk in the NFL and maybe I think Dwayne Wade in the NBA, or now Draymond. They have guys that are currently playing too, commenting. I guess Eubanks is an example of that. So I think that's cool because you get like their perspective, and they're a little bit more dialed into the tour and what's going on. And I don't know, it's just a little bit. I like the Tennis Channel a lot. It's just a better production, a little bit less formal, and I'm loving it.
I mean, they're doing an awesome job. They're killing it, as far as I'm concerned. Is that changing? Okay, cool.
They do a lot of the post game stuff, and then they edit it real well, where they'll show their interviews from earlier in the day, which I like. So you can catch the highlights, and the app's great.
I like the. Do you have the app? You have like Cinemax and all that.
Yeah, so I stream. Yeah, it's HBO Max. How can you make it more confusing? Like your competitors, Cinemax, and they call it Max. And so I just stream that, and I can watch it on the computer. You can watch multiple there's multi-screen view, and depends on the announcers, but Jim Courier is the best announcer by far. Right? I learned stuff from him. Just for example, Bublik, they zoomed in on his grip, and he's like, "Oh, with his grip, he can't hit a kick serve. He hits second serve slice, or he just goes 2 first serves flat." And Courier were just describing the grip, or he mentioned that Tiafoe's whole team went back and he stayed there in Europe on his own. Stuff like that. He's just dialed into everything. I think McEnroe is great. He's got a great personality. He's a New Yorker. I love him, but I feel like he just doesn't. He's not as dialed in on the guys that are not top 5 or top 10.
Right, I agree. Yeah,
he calls everyone a journeyman. It's like, all right, this guy's top 50, but it's cool like having those two brothers. I mean, they're great.
Have you watched any of the interviews at the desk? With Adams kind of running it, and they've got Coco. And did you see them
they sign a ball, then they throw it in the crowd? I mean, it's good energy. I like it.
I love Adams been doing those intros for every pro. Have you heard those?
Yannick Sinner. I needed you to clap there. It's with my great pleasure that I welcome in an American hero. Tommy Paul walked into Roland Garros and said, "I'd like to go to the 4th round." Ole, 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 Joao. Okay, off because Ben Shelton's on the set, and that means that all the record books are about to be broken. From the city of Atlanta, now repping Gainesville. He is an American, and is he in the 4th round, you darn... Is with my great honor to introduce the Queen of Clay, the Mindset Master, the Silent Storm, chasing history with every swing, a 4-time Roland Garros champion, the pride of Poland, the one and only Iga Swiatek.
Like he did one for Iga, he did one for Serena, and I don't know if he did one for Bublik or not, but that interview with Bublik was hilarious. I don't know, he's so honest.
Yeah.
Like Adam was trying to bring, like, his tone was like so serious, like, are you going to share that with your kid? And he's like, no, why would I do that? He goes, oh no, when you're older. No. You can watch it
I know. He's like, if he asks, I'll show, but I'm not, I think he wanted to make a point, like, my
it was like a moment of gravitas he was bringing to the moment, and Bublik was like, I'm not dealing with that shit.
Yeah.
Me. I love that.
I know, he does like this intro, and they're all like awkward. Or I think it was Iga's birthday, and they gave her a cake. She's all awkward. Tennis players are so awkward.
Well, yeah, they don't know how to socialize.
Yeah, they've been playing tennis since they're 5, and they don't hang out with anyone besides tennis players.
They don't talk to anybody, and it's a solo sport for the most part, so that kind of feeds into it. But yeah, I've been loving the coverage.
Well, the coverage,
I think it's been
2
great.
thumbs up. Yeah,
way better than before. I think it was ESPN before.
It's been Tennis Channel, and listen, I love Tennis Channel. It's just, I think TNT just puts more money into it, and they got all these big names. They have Venus Williams does like kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's like a segment. Like she did a whole segment on the clay, and She brings a cool perspective, from a somewhat recent player.
Mm-hmm.
I think Agassi is coming on the desk soon. I think it might be tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's coming soon. It's coming
Yeah.
soon. I think in the last 4 days is when Agassi
Yeah.
comes in. I was wondering, I'm like, where the heck's he been? He did Roddick's podcast, but what's up with that? So, yeah, I'm loving the coverage. But our boy Nadal got his tribute right on day one. Yeah,
That's cool. I'm a Yankee fan. They have plaques. It's called Monument Park.
Yeah,
and this is like a plaque in the court with his footprint, his shoe print. That's
I think it's a shoe print. Like, pull it up here.
I think it's cool how
it's a shoe print. Yeah, it's a shoe print. It's cool. It says 14.
The one thing there's a couple things that stood out. I didn't watch it live. I think the tennis was on. I don't even know if they were showing it or what.
I don't think they didn't break coverage for this. You had to watch it like after or something like that.
Yeah. So the things that I liked were that he brought all the people that were on the staff, like the drivers and the masseuse and the locker room attendants. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. And then the big four was there, Roger and Andy and obviously Novak's there on site, but those things were cool. And then he brought his son out. I mean, it was emotional, and he got screwed that last Davis Cup match. He lost, and it was just like such a terrible last match. So this was kind of some closer.
It's a good cap and end and prompt circumstance, if you will, for for someone who deserves it, for sure, who's won it 14 times. I mean,
yeah,
I can't even fathom 14. His record's ridiculous, but no, that was good. Yeah. He got really emotional during that. They played a video of all basically his highlights over the years, and and then the memorializing him on that court and the all big four, and I don't know. I saw some stuff where is it just people just being jerks and say, well, Wawrinka should be up there too, or something like that. I'm like, oh, come on. I mean, no one considers. It's the big four.
Yeah.
No one said.
I mean, Murray, he deserves it, but he's not at those guys because he had those guys were playing.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah. So let's talk a little bit about first. It's cool to just see the Eiffel Tower and the scenes they show, like the grounds, and you and I have been to a bunch of tournaments, and we know. I mean, we haven't been to the French Open, but they're all kind of similar. But no booze in the stands. I mean, what's going on?
Did you see that? I was surprised. I guess there's certain areas you can drink, but you can't drink in the stands at the French Open. What?
The French fans they're good tennis fans. Like, when you go to the U.S. Open, it's kind of like a thing to be at. It's very corporate. It's very it's a happening thing to do in New York. It's a place to be seen. I think the same thing in Miami, where I think these French fans they know tennis. They get into it. They bust people's balls. They're loud. But it was Goffin, Goffin, they were yelling at him and he complained. That's why they did it.
Oh, is that why that happened? Oh, shit.
A couple of years ago, it might have been last year, where, it was like a rowdy night and he was complaining about people cursing at him. But people were just going to designated area. Like, okay, we go and buy what Stella seems to be the beer there. Yeah. We're just going to pound like Stellas and go back to our thing and be more fucked up. Right?
You just got to tank up before you get on back to your seat, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'd be disappointed if I was there and you couldn't bring a drink back with you to your seat. But
the other thing that I noticed, which I see at Miami too. You kind of see it at the U.S. Open, but not as much. The 11 a.m. start.
Oh.
They're always putting women on. We'll get into the women's thing in a second, but it's always, it's a ranked player. I'm talking about the stadium.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no one there. Like there's no one. Like there's some like theory that they don't serve lunch to the VIPs that sit down there. They're in a different area. So
is that what?
The French,
okay.
They're into their food, they're into their meals. So maybe they're on the other side of the venue, and you're at a place and you're drinking. Hey, you can drink here, and you're not going to go to the seats until later. So like, it sucks. You're playing a big match, you're first on, and then there's no one there. They got to do something about that. That looks bad luck.
Yeah, and then they won't. Well, let's just get into it. There's all this ruckus. They won't put women at night. Now, there's like one night match, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah. So the thing that I saw was Amazon does the streaming in I think it's Europe or it's France, and they signed that deal with Amazon just to have one match at night.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't understand that. So the U.S. Open, I think their night session has 4 matches. The negative part is that second match can start at 9:30, 10, and like you can be at the U.S. Open until like 2 a.m. sometimes. And I know like New York's a late night place. I don't know if Paris is like that. So I think that's part of it. They don't want it to go too late. And then, best of 3 versus best of 5. So you're getting more tennis. The other thing is they don't have like Coco Gauff so people that don't know tennis, they know Coco Gauff because she's young, she's an American, she's just like.
I just think maybe they should just capitulate and do like every other night, maybe do a women at night one night and the men one night or something like that. Just change it up because it seems like Emily Marismo, the tournament director, is like, no, this is just the way the schedule works, and you can't put someone really late after. Well,
the media is freaking out because the media is like so woke and they got to be like, oh my, the message you're sending to little girls. It's like, I think they just want to make the most money possible. So you get, and then the people going, they want to be like, oh, I saw Djokovic play. I saw Alcaraz play. I saw Sinner play. I mean, those 3, who are you going to say? If you say I saw Iga Świątek play, people don't know who she is. Like, and same with Sabalenka. Like you ask an average sports fan, they don't know who they are. They're not.
Brazilian,
they know Serena Williams. They would know Venus Williams.
Yeah. Is Joao Fonseca playing that? He's going to fill up that stadium,
I know. Yeah. So I don't know. The solution is to have a match on they have the 2 stadiums, like have a women's match on one and a men's match on the other, or start earlier. But I think they have that contract. So I think. Yeah.
Well, they used to never have night matches too, so this is kind of a new thing. So I don't know. I guess the media was making a fuss about this last year too. I didn't even realize it until I looked into it a little bit. So Pan Shriver's been talking about it, and obviously the tournament director Emily Marismo got hit up on it. And the media is making a thing of it, but I really don't. Just change his schedule a little bit. Well, let's see. If it's a money thing, you'll be able to clearly see who's going to go to that night match or not, or like you said, put it on the other court. Well, ratings, or put it on the other court, right? Like you're saying, if they have lights on that other court, do have them run at the same time, and then you'll see where people go. I mean, we have a guess depending on who's playing, but
I'm down for W2A, ATP, and W2A. It's all about matchups for me. But there's more stars on the men's side. That's just the way it is. So I think it's. I want it. People, if there's one match, they want to see a star, and then. If Sabalenka goes out there, she can beat someone in 43 minutes, like 6-1, 6-1, easily. Alcaraz just beat Tommy Paul in a 3-set match in like an hour and 35 minutes.
Dude, that was a bit brutal to watch today.
Yeah.
Seeing the men. I mean, and we can go into the men if you want.
Well, let's stick with the French Open, like the actual Roland Garros.
Yeah, so like the kits, the Nike prison uniforms. Did you see this?
It's prison or rugby. Like Alcaraz's like warm up is like a rugby jersey. Like what? And then Sinner, he looks like Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I saw that Luigi's.
I don't know which one. It's like Luigi or
Luigi's on the court. I did see this one. Did you see this one here?
That's something.
What is this? The pineapples?
Nike pays big money for these stars, and their stuff is not cheap either. No tennis stuff is really cheap, but it's awful looking. Even the On stuff. I mean that. It's like rainbow color.
Well, we are that month, so
maybe. So what? So this is like a hot ticket. I guess these slams are just becoming a hot ticket. Is it because the bots buy them, or do you think just tennis is more popular, or it's not good for us because it's just going to be more people and more money for tickets?
I mean, I kind of feel like it's a little bit of everything. I just think everything just more expensive, right? So tickets on general are not cheap. If you look at just concert tickets here in the States and you look at game tickets, playoff tickets, NBA playoff tickets are not cheap either. I mean, so this doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I did look into it and you had ticketing on the show notes and I was like, holy crap, approximately $200 for a grounds pass and anywhere between $1,100 to $6,200 for major matches. I mean, I get it. You're probably paying.
Was that euros or
I don't know. I asked ChatGPT, give me average prices for French Open tickets, and it spit that out.
I think the venue is smaller too than the other Grand Slams, like the actual space.
Huh.
So you can't booze. You got to pay $200 to $1,500 to go. You're not going to see women at night.
And apparently you can't. There's not. How do you get there? I don't know that area. I guess I heard that on one of the tournament.
Everyone rides their bike. It's France.
There's no parking lot. I'm like, what? There's no parking lot at the French Open? How does that work? How do people don't drive?
You have to ride your bike.
I guess people don't drive in France. I guess
they ride their bikes.
They walk.
All right, let's get into some of the tennis.
All right, so
we had some goodbyes too.
Yeah,
right?
So Caroline Garcia lost to an American, went on in her own terms. You talked about that, I think, before. She had some injuries or something like that.
Well, we listened to the podcast, and it just seems like she's done. Like she's got this. I don't know if they're married or whatever. She does it with her partner.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like, listen to the podcast, she's injured, like her shoulder's bothering her. She doesn't want to deal with like the stress. She's probably got a lot of money and they want to have a family. So
time to move on.
All
right.
Yeah.
And then
I always liked her style. She ripped it and she stood on the baseline on her returns. She went for everything. She's fun.
She was a fun player to watch.
I don't think she's done. I think it's like that's our last French Open. Like this is the last season.
Finish out the year and then kind of go from there.
Gasquet, he's done.
Yeah.
So as
French
two
Open.
one-handers, we have to be fans of him. I mean that.
And he's got his fancy grip. You were talking about that, where he like the butt cap is like 4 times bigger.
Yeah, so I got that from him. I do that with I just do it with the overgrip. And I got that from him. I've experimented with a couple. I just do one overgrip, but I do mostly around the butt cap. So you have more there. But he was describing that he gets the special grip. The leather part is like real wide, and then he puts an overgrip over the leather, so it's like a donut he has. And
what is that?
He regrips. He regrips every changeover.
Every changeover.
because he says he sweats a lot.
Turner grip better.
You ever see him do it? He does it in like it's the fastest I've ever seen anyone do it. You ever see him?
I
You
think
have to show the video. You'll be able to find it. He's like, boom, boom, boom.
I think is this the Instagram one? I think I found it. Let me see.
I think that
Oh no, that's just like.
I was just showing it.
That's just showing the grip. Yeah, I think he talks about it when he started it in 2010 or whatever, and where he got it from. It's ridiculous. But so you do it. What's the advantage? What do you?
For me, I just like the because I hold it real low on the handle.
Okay.
Like my pinky's like barely like hanging off. My racket's in the other room. And I when you're turning your forearm to get the spin on the backhand, that's why I don't know. I like it. I've experimented with a bunch of different stuff. No grip, 2 of them on there, just regular. I use Turner grip because I sweat a lot and we live in Florida.
Yep.
And then I just do just a little bit more extra on the bottom. Nothing Gasquet like.
Nothing like the Gasquet donut.
I got it from him.
Cool. So he had his good farewell at the French, I think, after his loss. Who did he lose to? I do not remember off the top of my head.
Sinner.
Oh, Sinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The buzzsaw.
I mean, 20-year career. Amazing backhand. He was one of these prodigies. I was talking to my friend from France, and he, I think he went pro at like 15 or something like. He was like an amazing junior player, and he like turned pro at 16, and just in that era with those guys, and he made one semifinals. I don't know. I don't think it was France. I think it was Australia or something. That was his like best result at a slam. He could just never beat those guys. I mean, I think Federer has some insane record of like, or Nadal, like it might be like 22-0 against them or something crazy.
Really?
You're gonna have to look up the stat.
Yeah, I'll look it up later. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, you had a couple other names on here. Ons Jabeur.
Yeah, so I mean, she was in the Wimbledon final a couple years ago. She's been injured. I don't know. I think she's kind of
done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen her hit the court much. If she does, she doesn't really make much of an impact. Coco forgets her rackets, follows Tiafoe's lead. Well, after she talked crap about I could tell with weight, and then what's up with us Americans and not forgetting their rackets? What's up?
It's crazy. I think it's the entourage thing where someone must pack her bag for her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think she was on the TNT desk after that, and they were giving her crap, and she was like,
I think these pros, I don't even think they carry their bag like to practice. I think someone carries their shit from practice and like, yeah.
I think it depends on what level you're at, right? If you're like Dasha Kasakina, you're carrying your bag. If you're Coco Gauff, you might not be carrying your bag.
Serena didn't. There's no way.
No.
Yeah.
No. Our boy Taylor Fritz, we'll talk about upsets here in a bit, but he had a bit of a tough clay court season and kind of went out with a lot of seeds early on. I mean, he lost, was it round 2, 3, something like that?
Yeah, he lost the second round, and
so like
his confidence seems to be down.
So like Fritz lost to Otmar, Ruud lost to Borges, Diminar lost to Bublik, Medvedev lost to Nori, Mensik, and Tsitsipas lost. I mean, this was our next gen for a while, and I don't know. There's some and then kind of other players. Osaka out first round. She had a tough one though. She had Padosa, but you're right. I see the look on her face.
She's always crying in France. We want her to do well. She went down and she won a challenger, and she seems to like play these top players close but not beat them. But she's a hardcore player, so let's give her the rest of the year and see. I think the window's kind of short for her. I think she's one of those people, like, if I'm not winning, why? I already have a ton of money. I have a kid. Like, what am I doing? So I'm giving her, maybe like a year and a half. And if it's not happening, I'm predicting that she's going to hang it up. She's young too.
If she parts with Patrick sooner than later, you think it's probably curtains sooner than later, or do you think that's enough spark to do something different? I don't know. I could go either way.
Yeah. She had a nice anime kit. Did you see the outfit?
Yeah, that was funny.
She wants to be like Serena with the outfits. I think she designs them.
Oh, okay. Well, they're all designers to a point.
Grigor lost. I mean,
he's made a Grand Slam default, right? Didn't he? He's done it.
I was watching that match. He played well. Like I think it was 2 sets he won. He was serving well, playing well, and then he just I don't know. He's 34, 35. So.
Well, he's got Aiza Gonzalez to help console her, right?
Yeah. Let's not feel too bad. He went to his house in Monte Carlo with his Aston Martin and his model girlfriend.
Yeah, roughing it, huh?
Yeah.
A couple other losses. Draper lost to Bublik. We kind of talked about Bublik earlier a little bit in the 4th round. I kind of thought Draper was like the 3rd best player in the tournament up until that point.
Yeah, he was just rolling guys.
I mean, I thought, man, he's gonna get to the semi, and then Bublik just kind of did his thing.
Serve and drop shot. Did you watch the match?
I just watched preview highlights. I had it on, but I was working, and when you're working, you have tennis in the background. You don't always catch everything, so I had to rewatch the highlights. Oh my gosh, that was a wild looking match.
I thought the stats were 26 drop shot winners. It was something crazy. And he was ripping 2 first serves. He was ripping the backhand down the line. It was awesome. And then he won, then he cried, and it was a nice moment for him because he was saying that he was he's another guy who's just like, all right, if I'm not like competing or whatever, I'm just gonna hang it up. He said he was in 86, and in danger of being out of that top 100. And if you're out of that, it's hard really to get into these tournaments or seeded just into them. So he did like a Vegas trip.
Oh yeah. Get his mind out because he was working hard, and his coach was like, let's take a break. You're putting the work in, but you're not winning, so let's refocus. And but did you hear? I didn't catch this in the interview, but I was watching the Nothing Major podcast. They were talking about how if he had gone past what he wanted in 4 sets, I think. Public. If he had gone to 5, he probably would have tanked it and gave up. Because he had nothing left in the tank. That's
not the thing. He's just he said in the interview, like, if I would have had my serve broken, which was 5-4 serving for the match.
Yeah.
He's like, then I would have. That's it. That's my one chance. He's like, I just believe in one chance, which is a little bit crazy. Like, if I can't do it, then I don't deserve it. He said.
No, I took that and I thought, whatever. But then, I mean, you hear those players talk about that, how their experiences with Bublik and other players. Now, like, I believe him. He would have just stopped. He would not have put the. I don't know. I mean, maybe Isner's full of crap and he doesn't really know him, but that's kind of what the inclination was. Like, I told all the guys on that podcast were like, yeah, I totally believe it. If he didn't feel like he had it, he probably would have coasted and might have lost. And Draper was that close.
I believe him too, but it's just weird because you're trying to win a match any way you can.
Why are you there? It's like, okay, I'm done. I'm checking out.
I didn't hold serve. I don't deserve it.
Just gonna walk over now and call this good. I gotta go home and like see my wife and kids or something. I don't know. but whatever.
Yeah,
Different.
it was a
Bublik's
great win.
He's a
Now he plays
character.
Sinner, and he'll probably lose in a minute and an hour and like a half.
Yeah, I mean record time. I think it didn't. Yeah. So then the other one, Pagula lost to Boyson in the fourth round. That was kind of a surprise to me. That's a tough one. I kind of thought Jess was gonna get a little farther in.
So she's a wild card, and she's ranked 360 something.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched the match. She's got a good serve. She's got a good forehand, and it got tight. Pagula almost broke her in the last game. There, it was a long, a lot of deuces.
Yeah, I think I saw a highlight of that last game. It was like 10-minute video. I was like, just for the last game. I was like, shit.
She had this like mishit, kind of hit the net, went over. Yeah, what a story. And Pagula's another one who's like, wins tournaments and always does well at tournaments. The majors, not much. She doesn't really even make semis. She's not as
best. We hope for the best with the Americans, but I was kind of surprised on that one. But kind of looking at the rest of the draw. Yeah, looking at the rest of the draw, we're basically into. Well, we got
Iga versus Sabalenka.
Yeah, that's going to be the first semifinal. Sabalenka by Zhang in straight sets, and Swiatek got by Svitolina. A little bit of struggle in that second set. Yeah, Svitolina. Yeah. The bottom half, we've got American Shootout, Madison Keys and Coco Gauff. Who do you think on that one? You think Goff's got it, or you think Keith's gonna power her way through?
I think Goff's got it.
Okay, yeah. And then Andreeva and Boyson, I kind of feel like Andreeva. You think it's gonna be Boyson? Or
no, she's gonna. That's gonna be like a match that's gonna be over in an hour and 10 minutes. Pagula just didn't know. She was.
Yeah.
She was kind of holding back. Trying to see if that other Boyson Croissant was it. It's not croissant. It's like Boisson. I think it's Boisson.
Oh, Boisson. Okay.
All
right. You're probably right.
Andreeva is just slicing people up. She's gonna be there.
She's gonna be there. All right. So,
I think so.
Moving over to the men. Obviously, today we talked about both the men and the quarters went down.
Sinner and Alcaraz were just destroying everyone.
I mean, that was. I thought Tommy Paul had a shot, a slim chance. I didn't think slim chance, very slim chance. And he's actually has beat him before. But man, 6-0. That was in the first set, 6-1, and then 6-4. Oh, that was.
It's not like Tommy Paul laid an egg. Alcaraz was just hitting amazing shots. It was,
It was ridiculous. And then the other one, Musetti and Tiafoe, that went to like 4 sets.
Yeah.
I mean, Musetti's a really good clay court player, so he's one of the few clay court players out there. I'm not surprised by that. I really thought Tiafoe has been rolling. I don't think he's really lost a set until now, right? I think
Tiafoe's style is more like kind of finish the point early, and he steps in on the return to serve, and Musetti just like keeps the rallies going, and then once that happens to Tiafoe, he kind of loses with the consistency.
Yeah, he hasn't. Tiafoe had not lost a set up until that match.
Well, he beat Korda. That was like the first person he's beat in the top 50 in a long time too.
Right. Yeah. So now top half, we've got Sinner and Bublik. I kind of like we thought Sinner's gonna steamroll that one.
Yeah.
Zverev and Joker.
That's gonna be interesting. Djokovic has been playing well.
I know. He's back to his form. He's playing steady. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know about Zverev and Djokovic. I kind of leaning Djokovic, but I don't know.
The longer it goes, the more it favors the younger guy. But don't you think Alex has scar tissue because he's been lost to him so many times?
I think that's probably the notch that puts Novak a notch up, in my opinion, just because of the scar tissue.
He's been having blister problems on his feet too. I don't. They seem to be able to play through that like no problem, but I've seen him bring in the trainer and get the foot taped.
So we're pretty much think we're heading towards a Sinner and Alcaraz final, unless
No doubt
Djokovic does a hat trick or Musetti does something unexpected.
I'm saying Sinner is no doubt he's in the finals. Alcaraz could trip up, but yeah.
Yeah. If anyone's going to trip of the two, but yeah. All right. So no big surprises there. Kind of WTF moments, headlines, random topics. Unless there's something else in French Open you wanted to talk about.
Nah, I think we covered everything.
All right, so Tsitsipas makes a coaching change. Surprise. He's been kind of, isn't he out of the top 20 or something like that? Yeah, so he's got Ivanisevic as a new coach, so we'll see how that
goes.
Move.
Great coach. I saw him at the U.S. Open. He was cool. I didn't take a selfie or anything. I just said, hey, Grigor is huge.
Nice.
I don't know. He helped Novak, and then Rybakina brought him in, and the boyfriend's like, no, I'm the coach.
Oh, yeah, that old drama.
Yeah. And Tsitsipas has an amazing serve, but he hasn't been serving well, so that's what Grigor is known for. So I think it's a good move, but it seems like he does these coaching moves and doesn't listen to the coach because the dad is so, like, crazy tennis dad, so it's gotta be like try to. But Grigor, after that last one, he must be like, dude, like you, whatever I say goes. Like your dad's out, like especially after that last experience he had. So
he went out early.
I think it's a good move.
Yeah. You had something about green clay versus red clay.
So you and I, where you play in Florida, I'm just learning that like. The rest of the U.S. there's not a lot of clay courts besides Florida, and they're mostly in the South.
Yeah.
Is it like a humidity thing, or what? Why do you think that is?
I think it's a maintenance thing. I mean, have them outside in the North. That'd be I couldn't even imagine cleaning those up unless they were indoor. I think
they were saying on like Coco Vandeweghe and Sam, they're both from Southern California, that they didn't have it growing up.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of clay in the U.S., that's for sure. Florida has a lot. I remember when I was younger, it used to be red clay here, way younger, but then I don't know, at some point they turned to the hard true stuff, the green clay, which isn't the same as they have in Europe.
So the clay is finer in Europe. So I think the green is faster and can get harder. So it's I think it's a little bit slower, and I think you don't have as many bad bounces on the red. But I don't know. That's what do you like?
I mean, it's hard to remember what red clay was because I was really
young. I mean clay or hard court.
I like hard court, the bounces on a hard court better because they're more consistent. I play a lot on clay, mostly because it's not a public court and all the stuff that comes along with that sometimes.
Well, we play in these leagues, and these guys that are usually older than us, they won't even play on a hard court because they feel like it beats up their body. Do you feel it's a difference on your body?
I notice it on my legs a little bit after a hard court versus a clay court, for sure. Yeah. The feet.
I think so. Maybe a little bit. I think at like my back sometimes and my hip. The hard court favors my game. It's a quicker. I like I have a pretty strong serve and the +1, but there is something to the clay, like the you have spin or the kick serve or the slice.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a public court, Payne Park here, where we can play on clay, which is a really nice court. So we're pretty fortunate. But I don't think, it's a country club thing. All the country clubs are clay.
Pretty much. I mean, if I don't know, I prefer hard court. Honestly, the more I play on hard court, the more I miss it. Consistent bounces, because you get used to like on clay. I don't know about you, but I tend to I wait a little longer because I don't know where that ball's gonna go sometimes. Just like maybe a fraction of a second. Like, okay, am I gonna get a weird bounce and I got to deal with this? And then you go to hard court and you're like, oh, consistent bounces. Now I'm late.
Well, that bounce, really, it's all about the maintenance. Like the really nice clubs, like some of them are just like perfect. Is that service line area when it or when it skids, that I guess it goes both ways, but you lose points on bad bounces.
Oh yeah, it sucks. So, but most I feel like you get more players on those clay courts around here. They're more apt to play on a clay court than they are in a hard court. So
I think it's a status thing too.
Yeah, there's a status thing. Because sometimes there's some guys that are like, hey, would you ever play on a hard court? They're like, probably not at all. And I'm like, really? I mean...
Well, everyone asks me, what club are you from? I'm like, I play on the streets, man.
On the streets? I'm from the streets? I go hard, man.
I have been a club member, but right now,
Yeah, it's where it works out. Clay shoes, clay court shoes. You don't
have them, right?
I don't. I just have one set for everything. I understand it in theory that.
Yeah. So it's called herringbone, like the underneath. It kind of looks like tires, and the cool thing is it doesn't wear out because you're on dirt. Whereas those hardcore shoes, they wear out depending on how quickly you play. Like, I don't know, 3 to 6 months.
Yep.
So the clay at the bottom, I don't think, because of the way the treads are. So that's part of it. Part of it is sliding, although I don't know how to slide.
I don't know how to slide. I feel like I'm going to hurt myself if I slide.
I think I'll eventually try it. They were talking a little bit about it. I think you're supposed to dig in your heel, but every time I try it, I feel like I'm just going to hurt my knee.
I think you're supposed to, obviously it takes practice and everything, but it's kind of just putting your foot out and before where you want to slide to, so you stop at the right spot. I don't know. Maybe we need to take lessons from freaking Sean. That dude slides all the time.
It's definitely an advantage, but so it's sliding and the tread is different for the grip of the dirt, and they just kind of, the clay, especially when it's wet or you're sweating, like the tops of the shoes kind of go before the bottoms. That's been my experience.
Do you notice? You notice a big difference then on wearing?
Yeah, I do. I think it helps. I think it helps with the movement. I think there is something to the side movement with it. Because there's less clay courts, there's less shoes to buy. So you're kind of limited of what shoes you can buy, what size, what colors, especially in the U.S.
So do you have the same brand for both, or do you have a specific
No, so
one?
I'm a Mizuno guy. I love the Mizuno Wave series. I forgot which one I have. I've gotten a couple different waves. I love those shoes, but you can't get the Mizuno clay. I don't know why. So I have the A6 gel resolution. Yeah, your mic sounds good. Yeah, now you're back.
All right.
Yeah, so as far as clay shoes, I would say if you're a beginner, nah. For you, I would suggest getting them. And I've always had them.
Okay, cool.
And I only go through, maybe once, I go through maybe 2 or 3 hard courts a year, and the clay, I don't know, they last me a year, 2 years. They go long. Like I said, it's just the tops that the bottoms don't get worn unless you wear them on the street. But yeah.
No, my tennis shoes are just for tennis. So
yeah,
I just switched from I was an Asics guy forever, and I just kind of went over to the Diadora shoes, the B Icons. I kind of like them so far. I did get some insoles though, because it really helps my feet. So
yeah, they're known to have some great clay shoes too. So yeah, it might be something to check out.
I guess the USTA unveiled some updates for the US Open, state of the art performance center, blah, blah, blah. Did we talk about this last time?
No, we didn't talk about it. Well, we might have. We'll have
I can't remember.
No one heard it because you couldn't even hear me. They're adding seats to the top. The place is so big. So yeah, I don't like this at all because the actual grounds are so packed now, and you're just adding more people in there, and you're just making the stadium bigger, and you're just paying more money for crappy
so you
seats.
Can be farther away from the court and like even smaller ants playing tennis.
I think the thing is where they make a ton of money is like the VIP, where you might go to a restaurant or a lounge and have that. I think there's more of that and more of the upper. And I don't know. You're gonna have to look up the stats, but I want to say they make, I'm not kidding, $2 billion off the tournament in 2 weeks. It's something crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So, so there's that. I guess before, I don't know when exactly this was. When did Sinner visit the Pope? Was it right before?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was during Rome or before Rome. That was pretty cool.
So he got a little divine help here to get him through the tournament and back from suspension.
The Pope took your name. They take a name. So he took your name, and he plays tennis, and there's a court at the Vatican.
Yeah, well, hopefully I can rub off on that and get a little from my shitty game. And then a little, I didn't really have anything from court to camera, but I realized Sinner has this like vlog style channel on YouTube. He only
posted 2 things.
Yeah, there's only 2 videos. He's too busy winning right now, so he can't post anything.
Yeah.
Is it all in Italian or does he speak English at all? I haven't watched any of them.
Yeah, he's got such a weird voice too.
All right. This is our Average Joe's local tennis segment. A little bit of rumor mill. Apparently, Sarasota Sports Club. This is the club I belong to, and where the Sarasota Open has moved to for 10 years. It was sold to Heritage Golf Club group, or I don't know, a Heritage group, whatever. Previously, they acquired Liquid Ranch Club in March of last year. There was a Facebook thread on this, on a kind of the personal club Facebook group, and we just checked that before the pod, and it's gone. I don't know what the heck happened, but it basically, the post was, I heard the club was sold to HGG. What does that mean for us? Does blah blah, just this long tirade of like what's going to happen next, and then someone responded, said, yeah, this is true, but nothing's going to change right now. Basically, calm down. And it'd be nice, and this just went on for like forever. And then people were like, I heard that the Meadows closed too. And yeah, I did.
Yeah, so I got some news on that. The Meadows did close. The Meadows is a golf club too. And I think what happens is they have like a board where these guys, I don't know if they're members or they're like retirees. They're not people that know how to run a club, and they just get in these financial debt because running a golf club, I guess both is expensive, like the tennis with the maintenance and the staff, but the golf even more so, the equipment and the maintenance. there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And then this is a common thing. So they just lock the doors. But now they're bringing the tennis. They have new pickleball. So they're opening the pickleball and the tennis, but it's pay to play. And I don't think that was the format from it. So I think they're just trying to get some money in while they find someone to buy it.
SSC model then, right? To get the tokens and everything.
Yeah. So this guy I follow on Facebook who's a member, he did a video and it was like some people paid in advance for the year. Yeah. So obviously they're upset. So I think they don't have to pay, but then the other members have to pay to play. I don't think it was like that. So yeah, that sucks because that was like I looked at joining there. It was nice. They had a nice deck. I don't know why I didn't join. I think because we play at night and they shut it down early there at night or something.
They close early. That was my hang up. I mean, they're technically closer to anything around me.
It's nice though, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It closed early, so a lot of changes at clubs around. I mean, obviously, like you said, the Meadows and an SSC so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have to sell, and then someone's got to make money, so it's just going to cost more for everyone. But the clubs will probably be nicer.
It'll be nice. I mean, yeah, they got that Sarasota Open Challenger for 10 years. Incremental updates each year. I mean,
they have that Bath and Racket that I haven't gone back there, but it's supposed to be a club.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know when it opens. I don't know if maybe they've just started construction. I should look into that again. But yeah, that'll be a competitor. It'll be funny where everyone kind of ends up, truth be told. I mean, honestly, if it all goes to crap, I just go to Payne Park, play there, right?
Right. Yeah. Or on the streets.
Right. Or on the street. All right, I'm going to talk about my pet peeve as my one thing in this section. Okay. My pet peeve is the freaking UTR email notifications for the next session. I counted 16 emails in the month of May for that guy to let me know that the next session's coming. That's 3 of them in one day. I'm going to put the thing on the spam now because I kind of I left it in my, to see what's going on, but that's just too much. I mean, what the heck?
I didn't wind up doing it. So I did it the last session, and so they give you 4 matches, and they had me at a lower rank, and the matches weren't competitive. So then I learned you can challenge people. So then I challenged people, and I beat them. So that was cool. So I wind up getting 5 matches out of it. I think with the Ultimate Tennis, you get 7. Usually, if you make the playoffs, you get 1 or 2. So you get more for the Ultimate Tennis, and it costs less money. And I was texting that guy because he's supposed to enter the scores when you challenge. So then he was really? Texting me, the thing is up. You got to do it. So I didn't wind up doing it just because I'm already in one league. But I think it's interesting. I want to get a rating, and I met new people through it, and people don't know about Ultimate, and I think the Ultimate people don't know about UTR. So hopefully maybe get some more matches. And I like that playoff format too, which is pretty cool. But
I mean,
my pet peeve.
I would root for Ultimate. I mean, not Ultimate, UTR. Honestly, because I like the idea of it, like you do, with getting a ranking and playing with different people. But I just feel I don't know what it needs. I don't think spamming everyone into joining is going to do it. I don't know what he needs to do. He needs to market it better. I don't know. Something. He needs to do something, but sending that many emails and spamming people to join isn't. And I even see him in some of the Facebook groups because I'm in some Sarasota tennis Facebook groups, and he'll spam those too, like sign up now. And I'm like, this guy again.
Yeah. So I think it's $45 where the other one is 40. And
for 4 matches, it seems a little like,
Mm-hmm. So the other thing is the challenge. You need to do it through the site. Maybe they just don't want to give people's numbers out, but I mean, that's the whole thing. Tennis, you want people to contact you. Like, in Miami, they just had a huge number of people, and it was just like, all right, just go. There was no schedule, so it was just you reach out basically to people that were closest to you, and you can only play the same person twice. That worked out well, just because Miami was so big, and I wasn't gonna drive like an hour to play someone. That was called Tennis Miami. That was, and they had playoffs and stuff like that. That was cool. My pet peeve is we live in Florida and it's rainy season in the summer. And people look at the forecast the night before and they're like, it's going to rain. I'm like, dude, it says it's going to rain every day in the forecast. And I don't know, maybe, people that not in Florida, when I didn't live here, I didn't know, like, it could rain here and then up the street, it can not rain. So
scattered
the problem
showers
is,
does mean scattered showers.
yes. So you're faced with a dilemma. Sometimes you get in the car on the way, it pours. Sometimes you warm up, you play a few games and it pours. And then sometimes it looks like it's going to pour and it doesn't rain. So I always want to play, so I always push it. And if it rains, it rains. But and then it could rain in the morning, and then you can play in the afternoon. All right, let's give it a couple hours before the match before you call it. Like, don't be, it's 9 a.m. It's raining. I guess we're not playing. It's like, all right, but yeah.
We can't play Thursday. It's Monday. It's going to rain. No, you got to wait. You got to wait like an hour or two before you call.
And then you need like scouting. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go drive by the courts and see if it's wet, and I'll text you because you live in South Sarasota and I live downtown, and there's a big difference because you and I experienced that. I forgot, we went to one court and the whole thing was flooded, and then we drove up to Payne Park and we played.
Right. Yeah. Payne was fine. And then usually around here, clay, if it rains for an extended period of time, they're just closed. And what I found is, like, for instance, I think Potter Park right there, south of town.
Yeah.
That gets busy. But I remember one time we were there and it was pouring. And then, SSC is around the corner. I don't remember who I was hitting with. And I'm like, we can just try there, And it was bone dry. How does that happen? Those two places aren't very far away. They're maybe a few miles apart, and it was bone dry.
The clay, it can absorb the rain. I mean, you can play in a light rain in the clay. They do in the pros, and I've done it. But the problem with that is the balls get super heavy, and like you can hurt your shoulder.
Well, some of those clubs won't even stay open, though, right?
No, they close.
They're like,
the people that work there don't want to work.
Yeah.
This
is so true. This is so true. They're like, I'm done. We're locking it up. Look out.
Because they could pour in the morning in Payne, and they'll just call the whole day. And we could have played at 6 p.m.
Yeah. So, and Payne's changed their hours a little bit. I think they're not open until 9. They're open to 8:30 now, which it's all right. And I asked the guy, our buddy at the bar, I'm like, so you closing at 9 or you're closing at 8:30? He goes, well, I'm supposed to close at 8:30, but if there's anyone here, I'm not going to kick them out. I'm like, all right, cool. So and they're trying a bunch of stuff over there in that bar. Like they have
So you were able to do that 6:30 slot.
6:30 is the best slot, I think.
And then you were able to play until 9. So now you have to play until 8:30. So you get 2 hours. You can do the match in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do the match.
Yeah, so before technically you're supposed to stop at like 8 for 90 minutes, but no one takes that hour. Like it was 1 hour slot after 8 o'clock to 9, and no one would take it, right?
Yeah.
So that you technically had a lot of time, but now, you have 2 hours because they closed a half hour earlier. Okay. But I feel like that's the best spot. I mean, the only thing right now is going to be the rain this time of year. Yep.
The cool thing that they have is they have I'm not on it though. I used to be, and I always liked it where it would text you or call you to tell you if they were open or closed.
I didn't get anything.
Okay.
I should look at that.
I used to be on it.
I'm telling. I feel like it's the best deal around. I mean, it's like $500 for the whole year there, so it's pretty inexpensive for the most part. But
yeah.
But then again, anyone else you play, it's not a member. It's got to pay $10. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right,
it's
buddy.
worth it. All right.
I'm out of topics, so guys, thanks for watching the remote version of this. Maybe next time we'll do it in person with a beer in hand.
Yeah.